Hi class, and welcome to lesson 3. This week we're going to be working on decimals and percents. So this week, as we begin our work on decimals and percents, in the pre-gathering folder there's a 55-minute video out there by Brother Baird. Highly encourage you to watch that. He'll go into great detail about decimals and percentages and be able to give you some great pointers as you get started on the different assignments for the week. The main thing I want to talk about, it's kind of a big one for this week, is the portfolio assignment. This week for the portfolio assignment, we're going to ask that you begin tracking your expenses. So what this means is at the end of the week, you're going to be submitting an Excel file that shows your expenses for that income and expenses for that week. Now, I think it says it in the description. In the past, I've had some students like, well, I don't really feel comfortable sharing exactly what my income and expenses are, and that's totally fine. If you want to track them yourself for your own and then alter the numbers before you send them in, that's totally fine. I'm not going to be worried about what the numbers are. I'm not going to go through and critique your budget and say, you're spending too much here, you're not spending enough here, anything like that. That's not the purpose of this assignment. The purpose of this assignment is to begin just tracking on a daily basis how much you spend and then looking at that at the end of the week. And this assignment, this is going to be for this first week. You're going to track these expenses, but you're actually going to do this for the remainder of the semester, and later on in the semester you're going to submit it again showing what you've spent over a period of time. And for those that are experienced budgeters, this probably isn't going to be anything new. You're probably already doing that. But for those that have never really been one to budget, you'll quickly start finding, as you track your expenses and really look at where your money's going, you'll start finding maybe areas that you can cut back to save money. Maybe you could use that money to save towards a vacation. Maybe use that money to pay off some debt that you have, some credit cards, things like that. So by tracking your expenses, it allows you to have a visual as to where your money's actually going. So I'm going below this notes from Instructor video. I'm going to put up another video that shows just a basic outline of how you can track expenses in Excel. This is what my wife and I used for years. Excuse me. And so it'll just be a little tutorial on how you can set it up in an Excel spreadsheet. Do not think that it means that you have to do it this way. This is simply the way that my wife and I set up, and we found it very beneficial to use it this way, so I just wanted to share that with you. One thing about it is, do not go on about this assignment, please do not go online and download some pre-made template. I know there's plenty of stuff out there. You could do a Google search. It does say in the description, make sure that the formatting and everything is your own. And I will be able to tell pretty quickly. It's usually, if I pull open a spreadsheet and it's very extravagant and has tons of formulas, it's usually kind of a tip to, okay, did they actually create this or not? Now, I'm not saying I haven't ever had that. Sometimes there are some students that they and their spouse have been budgeting for years, and they do have some intense spreadsheet that they use for budgeting. So that's fine, but just make sure that you are creating it yourself. You're not just going out and copying what somebody else has done. And the other thing is, make sure that you get a jump start on this. This is not an assignment you want to start Saturday morning. You want to be tracking these expenses all week long. So hopefully you're watching this video on Monday, and you go in and you create your Excel and you start tracking it now. Even if you don't create your Excel file today, just start, anytime you spend anything, jot it down. And then even if you create your Excel later and put it all in later, that's fine. But just make sure that you start tracking those expenses on a daily basis. So that's all I've got for you this week. As always, feel free to reach out with any questions or concerns. Just let me know. I hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you next week.